Where do DJs get their music from in 2026? That is the question I am going to be answering for you today with a fully comprehensive guide. So if you are brand new to DJing and you're wondering where we get our tracks from, this video is going to be for you. But equally, maybe you're more well established and you're looking at mixing things up a little bit and getting some new tracks into your collection. Well, again, I have something for you. Now, to accompany this video, there is a completely free downloadable guide on where DJs get their music from on my brand new website, djresources.net. QR code is on screen right now, and I've also left a link in the video description. I'm going to be building out this website over 2026 with a ton of resources to help you as a DJ, and a load of these resources are going to be completely free of charge. So do check out djresources.net. In addition, if you got one of these for Christmas and you really don't know where to start with it, or you're even just thinking about starting out as a DJ this year, my website also hosts my Ultimate Beginner DJ course. Kicking things off then, source of music number one is the streaming service. Now, I've put this at the top of my list just because there is a greater number of streaming services now available for DJs in 2026. And I know of more and more DJs that are migrating across to use streaming services in comparison to other methods of getting music. In terms of what a streaming service is, basically you pay a monthly subscription, and in exchange for that monthly subscription, you get access to a pool of music that you can use in your DJ sets. And it's even better than that because those streaming services integrate directly with your DJ software. So you don't need to log on to a website and copy anything across. All the library is available instantly via an integration into your DJ software. So Rekordbox or Serato or Algorithm DJ, whichever software you use. Examples of streaming platforms specifically for DJs include Beatport and BeatSource. Do not get confused with Beatport because they offer an online store as well as a streaming platform, but they do offer both. Those two as well, Beatport, BeatSource, are specifically designed for DJs. In addition, you've got Soundcloud, you've got Tidal, and you've even got Apple Music and Spotify. Some of the key benefits then of a streaming platform. Well, first and foremost, there is a lot of time saved. You sign up to a streaming platform and you have potentially got access to millions upon millions of tracks at your fingertips, fully integrated with your DJ software, which is fantastic. Music collections that used to take years and years and years to build up over time, that is just a thing of the past because there's already predetermined playlists on these streaming platforms. And so really you don't need to spend a lot of time building out the collection before you basically are able to start DJing. It does save a lot of time. In addition to this, costs can be a benefit, especially if you're using stuff like Apple Music and Spotify. They offer these massive music collections at a pretty reasonable price. Beatport and BeatSource are more expensive, so we will come on to that. But yeah, streaming services can be pretty cost effective. In addition, there is that versatility. If you're required to play 80s music one week and then more modern music another week, you know, you're going to be able to switch between the two very, very quickly without doing a lot of research because there are those designated playlists. And in addition to this, if you're a brand new DJ dipping your toe in the water and you're not really sure about if you're going to DJ long term, then a streaming service could be perfect for you because you've got all of the music collection there that you can practice with, but then there's no time wasted in downloading tracks and filling up a hard drive with music that you may not need to use 6 months down the line or a year down the line when you decide that DJing is not really for you. Final benefit is that music these days, modern music that is not as timeless as it used to be. I have downloaded tracks in my collection 2-3 months ago that I wouldn't dream of playing in my set now because it's just not trending audio anymore. And so for that reason, those tracks that I downloaded like a couple of months ago are now pretty much obsolete. And so with a streaming service, you're always going to be up to date. You're always going to have those trending tracks. And as soon as they're not trending, you can just stop playing them and concentrate on the ones that are trending. So those are some of the key benefits of streaming. Now, for all the benefits, of course, there are some drawbacks too. Main drawback being, with a streaming platform, you're paying all this money each month, but effectively you don't have anything to show for it. That music collection, those playlists that you've built up with your streaming tracks, are gone the moment you stop subscribing. Yes, they will stay in your playlist, they won't disappear, but you will not be able to use them to DJ with. You're going to have to constantly be subscribed in order to use your streaming platform. Drawback number 2, depending on which platform you use, you may need to have a solid internet connection in the venue that you are DJing in. Apple Music and also Spotify, you have to be connected to the internet at all times. That rules those services out for DJs like myself, for example, because I work in nightclubs where the internet connection is really bad, okay? So I just can't use those services. Fine if I'm playing at home, but really no good for actually DJing in a live environment. Now, there are dedicated platforms like BeatSource and Beatport that have an offline locker, which are going to be absolutely fine to use without having an internet connection. However, please bear in mind and do your research on this, that if you're using a service that has this offline locker, you are likely going to have to pay an absolute premium for that site. BeatSource, I believe, is currently $35 a month. That is expensive. Streaming platforms do not allow the use of in-software recorders. So if you're looking to record your DJ set, because you don't own the music, you're not able to record your DJ set directly in your DJ software. And so if you want to record DJ sets, you're going to have to buy an external recorder, an external device to record, like this iRig Stream, or there's another device, I think by Howler, that has an SD card slot so you can record directly into the box. But yeah, you're gonna have to buy something like this to do your recording another way. That just means an extra expense to factor in. And in addition to this, if you use creative features like stems, certain streaming platforms do not permit the use of things like stems. So if you use Apple Music and Spotify, you can't use stems. Soundcloud, I think it depends on the track. I do have DJs that say you can use stems, but I've also seen DJs saying no, you can't use stems. Again, BeatSource, Beatport, you pay a premium, but you can use stems. So just do your research before you buy into a streaming platform. And for me personally, I like to have my own music collection. I'm a DJ, but I started really as a music collector. And so that is one of the key benefits of being a DJ, right? And I just feel like some of that magic has gone with the streaming platforms. But a key source of music for DJs in 2026. Source of music number 2, and that is the good old trusty DJ record pool. Still very, very popular in 2026. What is it? Well, it's a service. You pay a monthly subscription, and for that monthly subscription, you get access to a pool of music. Key difference in comparison to the streaming service, however, is that with that pool of music, you download individual tracks onto your laptop. So the track is stored locally on your machine or your hard drive. Now, there are many, many different DJ pools out there on the market. My personal recommendation, and the one that I use myself, is Heavy Hits. They aren't sponsoring this video or paying me any money, but I do have an affiliate code. If you use KARLTHOMAS at checkout, you can try them out in your first month for just $5. That is literally the price of a cup of coffee. Other record pools out there that I have used over the years include DJ City, the mashup.co.uk, Zip DJ, and also BPM Music, formerly BPM Supreme. I have got a ton of record pool reviews on the channel if you want to have a look at any in more detail. Some of the pros then of having a DJ record pool in comparison to streaming is, well, you own the music. Anything that you download from these websites is yours to keep. You are downloading the files locally. That means if you stop subscribing to these services, your music is safe. You have your own music collection. For example, I no longer subscribe to DJ City. However, I have got files from DJ City from many years ago that I still might play in my DJ sets. Because the files are stored locally, you can have and play that music for as long as you keep that file on your machine. Another pro of a record pool is that they are regularly updated, and record pools also have DJ friendly edits available on these sites. So intro and outro edits, acapellas, sometimes exclusive mashups and edits made by other DJs. So they are a really comprehensive source of music. And if you're downloading a lot of music, often when you pay your subscription fee, you do get unlimited downloads. The only exception to that is Zip DJ. They charge a bit of a premium if you want an unlimited download plan, but again, that is for you to investigate depending on your needs. Now, of course, everything comes with its drawbacks, and the key drawback with DJ record pools is that because you are downloading files directly onto your hard drive or your laptop, you're going to need space for them, and as your music collection grows and grows and grows, you're probably going to need more and more hard drive space unless you're keeping things very clean and deleting stuff when you stop playing it. But of course, there could be cost implications with regards to that. The other downside of DJ record pools is that they are not going to have completely everything that you ever need as a DJ, just because there are certain restrictions given to them by certain labels. For example, you will not find much Calvin Harris music on a DJ record pool unless it's like an edit or a mashup, just because there are label restrictions with the label that he is currently signed to. And so for that reason, you will likely need to top up your collection with music found from elsewhere, like Beatport, TrackSource, if you're using online stores, or maybe you'll have a streaming platform in conjunction with your record pool. So do bear that in mind. In addition to this, DJ record pools aren't the best when it comes to throwback music. If you're looking for a lot of older music in your record collection, you're probably not going to find a great deal of it on a record pool unless it is some kind of DJ edit or DJ mashup. And the reason is because these record pools are there to promote brand new music. And so for that reason, throwback anthems can be a little bit more challenging to find on these record pools. In fact, if you want throwback anthems, the one record pool I would probably recommend is the mashup.co.uk. They have a ton of throwback edits and quantized versions of tracks. Probably the best collection I have seen, so do bear that in mind. And then the final disadvantage is there can be inconsistencies with record pools. For example, there might be a month where you're downloading a ton of music and it's giving you everything that you need, and then there might be 1 or 2 weeks where they're uploading stuff, but it's not things that you need for your DJ sets. So there can be periods of inconsistencies and dry spells on record pools. I've experienced that with all record pools. So just bear that in mind. And what I would say with this is try not to sign up to a ton of months in advance with a record pool. I know it's more expensive to do month by month, but it is far more beneficial because it gives you that flexibility to then change record pools should you want to, or should you experience a bit of a dry spell. So don't lock in for 3 months, 6 months, a year. I would recommend paying a little bit of a premium to give you that flexibility. Source of music number 3, and that is the online record store or the physical record store. I have to mention the physical record store because a lot of DJs are going back to DJing on things like vinyl, which is pretty cool. Pretty self-explanatory, does what it says on the tin. You go onto these services, you add what you want to download into a cart, you pay per download, you download those files onto your laptop, and you can DJ with them. Obviously, with a physical record store, it's just like a shop. You go into the shop and you buy the music that you want to buy. No subscription required, which is obviously a key benefit. Now, some of the best online record stores, if you want to buy music in this way, include Beatport, not the streaming service, the online store. There is both available. Juno Download and also TrackSource. If you want more generic tracks, chart music and throwbacks, for example, do check out Amazon. They offer a download service where you can actually download individual tracks. And also good old trusty iTunes. It is still in existence in 2026. Now, the key benefit of buying a record collection in this way is that you have complete and utter control over your total record collection. You can download as many or as few tracks as you want. There's no subscription to pay. You can spend as much or as little as you want on your record collection. That leads me into some of the drawbacks. Some of the drawbacks, it can get very, very expensive to buy music in this way, particularly if you want to build up a large collection of music. If you think you're paying like $1 to $2 or £1 to £2 on every single download, once you start getting over sort of 20, 30 downloads, are you better off paying out for a record pool subscription if that's going to give you all the music that you want? In addition, if you're buying physical music, this gets very heavy very quickly to lug around, and you're going to need space to store it. And yeah, it is a bit more of a pain in that respect. In addition to this, okay, when it comes to downloading individual tracks, it can be quite time consuming because you're typically looking at multiple different sources, and so just bear that in mind. But once you have that track in your collection, much like the record pool which is downloaded, you have that file or you have that vinyl, it's yours to keep, and you can play it as many times as you want with no restrictions and no worries about internet connection or anything like that. Source of music for DJs number 4, and that is SoundCloud and Hypetip. Now, the two are bundled together because they kind of work in tandem with each other, even though they are separate websites. Let me explain. So, DJ Producer uploads a track onto SoundCloud and they offer it out as a free download, which is fantastic. That free download, the chances are it will be hosted on Hypetip, which is known as a download gate service. So you'll be transported over to Hypetip, and in order to unlock that free download, you might have to do a few different actions. It could be commenting on the SoundCloud post that you really like the track to push engagement. It could be that you sign up with an email address to that DJ Producer's mailing list. It could be that you follow them on Instagram, follow them on Spotify. It really does depend on the amount of steps that the DJ Producer has put into place in order for you to unlock that free download. Now, the two services do sit independently of each other. However, a lot of the content that is on Hypetip comes directly from SoundCloud feeds. You can go onto Hypetip independently and search out for tracks and remixes and get them for free. It's just the content is originally hosted on SoundCloud. Now, because of those steps that you have to go through to unlock the download, that is why Hypetip is known as a download gate. And of course, the advantage of using a download gate is you get free music. That is a great benefit. You will have some free tracks in your collection ready to go in your DJ sets, and some unique remixes, mashups, whatever it might be, that are not available anywhere else. So that is a pretty good benefit. And of course, as I say, it's no charge. The drawback of using a download gate is you are going to have to potentially give away some personal information, an email address. You might have to follow an artist that you probably wouldn't ordinarily follow on Instagram, Spotify, etc. You might get spammed if you're on their mailing list. So just use it with a little bit of caution. In addition, you need to make sure that you trust that artist. So I would only recommend downloading tracks if they have a ton of downloads, just because ultimately you have to put your trust in that download file, and you don't want to download any nasty surprises onto your laptop. So a great source of free music. Just use it with caution because you're giving away information, and of course you are putting trust into the artist that has uploaded it. And then finally, source of music number 5 is Bandcamp. Bandcamp is the ultimate Aladdin's cave when it comes to searching out unique tracks for your DJ sets. Basically, Bandcamp is where independent artists upload all of their stuff that is not really signed to any particular record labels. And through this site, I have found the most unique DJ edits, mashups, and even original tracks. Now, an artist has complete control over how much they want to charge their users for their tracks. But just know that if you are spending money on Bandcamp, the majority of that sale is going directly back to the artist. And there is also the possibility to get free stuff on Bandcamp as well. But if you want to set yourself up for a bit of a different DJ set and you want to, you know, I don't know, just get stuff that other people don't have, the chances are you will find it on Bandcamp. It is honestly the best source of music and the best way to support a ton of independent artists. Now, of course, the positives are that you are supporting independent artists and that there is a ton of really unique individual stuff on there, which can make your DJ set sound very, very different to other people's. And you know, that is a benefit in itself. Some of the drawbacks, of course, much like the online record stores, you're downloading stuff onto a hard drive, but also it can get pretty expensive because the artists are charging varying different amounts for their tracks. And so if you find a ton of stuff on there, just be aware that you could be ending up spending some money on there. But honestly, one of my favorite sources for music in 2026. Hope that you have found this video useful. Please do let me know in the comments section down below where you are getting your music from as a DJ. Don't forget, check out djresources.net, my brand new website for 2026. Shout out to all of my channel members as always, and I will catch you in the next video.